The division of property is one of the most widely misunderstood issues in Alabama. Division of property has to be equitable. Equitable means fair. It does not mean equal. What's fair to me might not be fair to you. It's going to be fair to the judge. So when we are asking you about all kinds of facts that seem like they might not matter so much in how your property is divided, how your house might be sold and divided, we're doing that because any number of factors can affect what might be fair. And that is the only thing that controls how your property in divorce is divided. Equitable distribution initially sounds like it should be the same thing as equal distribution, right? The words are almost the same. But equitable takes into account if there's been any fault, if maybe somebody contributed a whole lot of money from a source that had nothing to do with the other spouse, how long the parties have been married, who gets custody of the kids, and what those children might need in order to have the least amount of disruption to their lives. All of those things go into the weight of what a court considers to be equitable. The division of real estate in a divorce can be super tough emotionally because people get very attached to what we call the home place, the place where you lived as a family and a married couple. Across the board, especially if the home place is owned jointly, it will most likely be sold and any equity divided. There are exceptions to that rule, but in my experience, hanging on to the home place for emotional reasons is a very short-sighted decision. As far as vehicles go, typically the spouse who habitually drives their vehicle is going to receive that vehicle and any debt associated with it, regardless of whose name it's titled in. The division of your retirement account or your pension can feel particularly difficult to swallow in a divorce because they are considered marital property. Those accounts are, just like anything else that was acquired during the marriage. So if you have a long-term marriage, which would be really over 10 years, definitely over 15 years, any portion of a retirement account that was accumulated during the marriage is probably going to be divided evenly. There are lots of complicating factors when you're looking at retirement type accounts as when it was accumulated. If the marriage isn't long-term, the judge could still divide some of it, but it probably won't be a 50-50 split. If one spouse has worked a whole lot more and the other spouse has taken care of the kids, those can all factor in because retirement, just like the rest of a couple's property, is just subject to equitable or fair division. When we look at dividing debts, we are trying to assign the debt with whatever asset it might go with. So if somebody receives a car, it's easy enough to say that they're responsible for that debt. When you're looking at a mortgage, especially of the home place of the parties, sometimes it can be worked out where one party refinances and assumes that debt in their sole name. But if that's not possible, then that asset is going to have to be sold to satisfy that debt. Because one thing we don't want to do is keep spouses obligated on debts together after they've gotten divorced. So the biggest mission when it comes to debts is to get them out of joint names and figure out who can pay them. If you're a small business owner in Alabama, the division of assets from your business can be a big issue in your divorce. There are lots of tools that we can utilize to value businesses. We engage professionals with what's called a CVA, or they are certified valuation analysts, to assign value to a business. Because a business, just like any other asset, can be considered a marital asset. And The best thing, of course, is to keep the business functional, keep it a going concern, and try to inflict the least amount of damage on the business while being able to compensate the other spouse for whatever they're entitled to from that business.